cup after cup after cup. Yeah, it's just the way we do it. Anything just to block out the real life, real life. Yeah, we're loving the way they think we're so messed up. Even if what we're doing is bad, there's so many emotions. Sharing stories that we never had, yeah, none is real. I think we're searching for reasons not to be like them. We fly around like paper planes, we never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are. There's something different about us. 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 Something different about the way we are. There's something different about us. Something different about the way we are. There's something different about us.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TNT Footy. I'm one of your hosts, Taz. Next to me, we have Egi. And
What's going on, everyone?
We have Moisty. How are we, boys?
How you going, guys? Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Glad that footy is back. I know I've said that for round 0 and round 1, but it's just filling my weekends up so much more now.
Yeah, you got something to do on the weekend, don't you?
Something to listen to in the car. And, you know, I was out doing yard work today and it was great just to have the radio on, listening to the Bulldogs and Suns game. It's fantastic.
Now, do you use the actual radio or do you just use it for your headset for your phone?
Yeah, I use the AFL app.
Yeah, I'm the same, yeah.
You are too?
You use that one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
in the
what I
car,
used
though, In the car, I listen to Triple M. So
Yeah,
I
I love Triple M as well. But like, even in the AFL app, you can choose to listen to Triple M as well. So I
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can pick them.
You
Yeah,
can,
that's
yeah.
what I do. Yeah.
Quick question before we get into it, because we're talking about radio. Do you like BT as a commentator?
I love BT.
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
BT's
I do
great.
too. He's massive. I saw him the other week, and he's a big unit.
Big boy.
It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when
He's picking on him straight off the bat.
Yeah, especially when the AFL brought out the taking away the weight this year out of the app.
I was talking about
Yeah.
height. I mean, I know I'm
Ah.
the tallest guy, but he's probably nearly double my size.
Yeah, but you're only 4'2", so.
That's true. That's true. Look, tonight we have a pretty good show. We've got pretty good show. It's always a good show.
Always a good one, mate.
We've got round 2 results. Moisty's minute. Eggy's going to come through again with his deep dive, and I've had a bit of a squiz, and it's I like it. So you definitely want to stick around for that. After that, we'll go viewer questions, and last of all, we'll go through some of the tipping results. So, how does that sound to you guys?
Sounds pretty good to me.
That's good. Let's get into it, eh?
And g'day to Carlton Flaggers. Welcome back to the stream, mate. Good to see you
Welcome
joining
back,
us
mate.
over there from WA.
Flaggers. Now, sorry about my voice. I'm got a bit of a cough, so it's a bit croaky at times.
Cough, so he's
It's sexy, mate. Sexy.
gonna say, well, we'll get into the first game. I think we shocked a few people, but it didn't really shock me because I've been crying on about it all year. St Kilda versus Collingwood.
Stab.
Was it interesting game? There was a bit of media uproar about some things, but we'll just leave it at that. No, take it away. That St Kilda did play a very good, well game, and like Moisy's always said for the last year and a half, that it's very hard to score against St Kilda.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they've added speed to their game now too.
Yeah.
They've been very quick across the ground now.
Which is something
Defense.
Ross Lyon has not had before.
No, normally it's just all defense and chip. But St Kilda, they've got wheels now, and they've been tagging off.
Absolutely. I thought it was funny. I couldn't watch the game on the night. I had other commitments, and everyone told me I must watch the game because of controversial free kick counts.
It was terribly umpired.
I actually watched it the next morning, and wow.
No, it was a bit of. There's a few iffy things in there that we'll get into later with Moisty's minute.
Every time we always bring something up about you.
No, it's nothing to do with that. But I've just got a question in there that I need you guys to answer. But yeah, no, it was terribly umpired.
It's absolutely terrible. Even watching the replay, we got to about halfway through the third quarter and we gave up because we were like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah. No, it was not a very well umpired. But that being said, St Kilda were good. And Collingwood was sloppy again.
They'll come good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
the execution from last year. The hunger doesn't look like they're there, and they're not as clean and crisp as last year.
That's
exactly
what I've
right.
heard from a few podcasts. They've had their success. Now they're just sort of showing up. And as Geelong learnt last year, you can't just flick a switch and turn it on.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't say,
basics.
we'll be right, because they can't just go, bang, we're good, let's go, ready to go.
What I have seen, like, because Carlton didn't play this week, so we probably won't talk about them, but I want to think they're just doing enough to get past, and I noticed, like, enough to get the win. They're doing enough to get to win a game, and I noticed that's what Collingwood did last year. So I think Carlton are going to be a good team to watch this year.
Good team.
I think Collingwood's basic execution at the moment is really poor, and that's probably the biggest thing that I noticed from watching the replay the other night. They're a lot better than what they're playing.
Yeah, and I noticed Daicos was very sloppy as well, and I didn't see a lot of off the ball, like how much he got roughed up or anything, but he seemed to be very quiet, so I don't know if he had just had an off game or someone made sure he had an off game.
But they all look very sloppy, though. It looks like they haven't had a good pre-season. They're sort of in and out. They're sort of, do we really want to play? And Kingy was talking about this the other day. When they were playing the last 2 years, they were vicious. They wanted to win every game. They could come back from 26. We just haven't seen that so far this year.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. Look, we'll keep moving because there's a few games to get through. Next up, we had Friday night, Adelaide and Geelong. I thought this was a cracking game.
Oh, I loved this game. Actually, I watched all this game. I thought it was a very good game footy.
And if Adelaide had a kick straight towards the end of the game, because they were on top in the gameplay, they actually would have stole this one. But Geelong looked to be playing a very good brand of football again.
Yeah.
No, I think they've switched it back on.
Definitely. It wouldn't surprise me now watching the way. I mean, again, it's early. Wouldn't surprise me if Geelong did make the 8. However, it's a long season.
Just to catch up and chat quickly, I had Michael Crack say Liam Henry out will hurt them.
Ooh.
And Turtle said Frampton was best on ground for Collingwood. 16 disposals, 10 intercepts, 89%.
Brampton did have a good game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's because the ball was coming in there so much.
Yeah, he was getting a chance, wasn't he? But that being said, Geelong played very well, and they missed a lot of shots in the fourth quarter too. So it could have
Definitely. And Liam Henry, just for St Kilda, Liam Henry will be a big out. He has been playing fantastic since coming.
Yeah, huge. That's a bit of that speed we were talking about just before.
It is.
How many injuries we getting this year, boys? It is just killing my super coach.
Most of them are defenders.
Yeah.
Most of them. And I want to touch on that after one of the games coming up shortly. So after that, so yesterday we had North Melbourne go down to Fremantle, but geez, I was impressed by North.
Well, I was at our birthday, so I missed this game. I looked at the halftime and I thought, we're home. That's all right. I'll go back to drinking, then come back and we lost by 30.
You ran out of legs. You ran out of steam, which is what Carlton used to do a fair few years ago. But Wardlaw was fantastic. Sheaser was fantastic. Fisher showed what he can do running off that half back line. Didn't have a lockdown role this week. North Ball is full flight and it is controlled. It is amazing.
I did watch Clarko's press conference and he said we're the youngest team in the competition, which I think they're second or third youngest, but pretty much the youngest team. And he said it's just going to take games. Like they're showing stuff. You get games in these bodies, all of a sudden they run those full games out. They win by 60 that game instead of losing by 30.
Yeah.
What Bolton used to say, green shoots after every press conference.
Green shoots?
There's green shoots. That's exactly where North's at right now. You guys are going to be very scary in the coming
in a few years, yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried about the third quarter when Freo was able to kick on 47 points to their 7.
Yeah, they kicked a lot of unanswered goals, and that's when North started to run out of legs a little bit, but then they started to creep back in the last quarter.
Yeah.
Comben has been fantastic for you guys.
Yeah, Comben's been huge.
Yeah.
He's his first game back though.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Floating across half back, or was he forward?
I
didn't see the game, but he was training half back.
I think it was off. Yeah, I think it was in defense. Him and the guy you got from GWS, Aiden Core.
Core, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is where we're probably lacking at the moment. We can score heavily, we're quick, but the defense is probably letting us down.
I was impressed by Coleman Jones too.
Yeah.
Did a couple.
As I can say, I can't really comment much. I didn't watch it.
All right, we'll keep moving along. Hawthorn Melbourne. Melbourne stamped their authority. I listened to this one a little bit. I didn't get to watch a lot of this one, but it sounded like Melbourne come out of the gates absolutely firing, and had Hawthorn on the back foot from the get-go. I don't know much about this game, to be honest. As I said, I didn't get a chance to watch it. Either of you two watch any?
I was still at the same birthday party at the races night, so if I'm not watching North, I'm not getting the Melbourne game.
Nah. I didn't watch a lot of footy over the weekend. I was watching bits and pieces and listening to bits and pieces throughout and checking scores.
Yeah.
I've got every other game covered, though. I've seen every other game of footy, just not those two.
Beautiful. Well, Melbourne, Petrarca played well. It was Pickett's return game. He didn't do too bad from what I heard. Sicily seemed to be getting a little bit fired up again, but he still had a really good game for Hawthorn. Ben Brown had returned for Melbourne, and I think he just helps their structure in the forward line because that allowed Fritsch to get off the chain. Fritsch kicked, I think it was 6 or 7 goals, something like that, which is huge. So that was really good for Melbourne. Good signs. They have that hunger back, and it's like the Melbourne of 2021.
But they had some big injuries.
However, that's exactly where I was going.
The two best defenders go down, Lever and May.
And could be out for a number of weeks.
Oh, really?
May's still in hospital today checking the ribs.
Yep. And Lever's
getting scares. Yeah.
But even after those two went down, like in the last quarter, they're able to kick on a few goals, which surprised me. I thought Hawthorn were going to come back, but then yeah, I know one of the boys in the Gambling chat was talking. He had Melbourne 1-39, so he was getting a bit excited, but then yeah, they just sort of blew it out of the park in the end.
Just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kicked something like 3 or 4 goals in the last 4 or 5 minutes. It was insane. They also, it was Harrison Petty's first game back, and he was playing forward, and him, Brown, and Fritsch up forward sounded like it was working really well for them. But obviously, with the injuries, they had to throw him down back. But it also gave Marty Hoare a go coming on as a substitute, and from what I heard, he did pretty well.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that was good.
Just before we move on, Tassie, we've got GWS taking on West Coast. I'll give a quick update.
Please.
Just 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's GWS 5 goals for 34 to West Coast 2 goals for 16.
Ooh,
Beautiful.
Closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be about that game.
Jeez. All right.
Just as we move down the list of the results, you might be able to see it just on this slide. Just here, you'll be able to see the West Coast and GWS scores.
Oh, they'll be live on there too.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm hoping it updates as it goes, but we'll soon see.
Yeah, it's got an update on there. It's so far.
Yeah, so far it's right. Then we move into Sydney versus Essendon.
Oh, this was a cracking game until 3/4 time. Absolute banger.
Fantastic game. Loved it. Absolutely loved watching this game from start to finish. Lots of
heat in it to it, yeah. That's what I was going to say. A bit of heat in it, a bit of fire, especially after the 2 metre PD incident.
Yeah, I think he'll get 4 to 6.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I've seen somewhere he got offered 3 or tribunal. And now I've got another message saying he's going to the tribunal and the AFL took that away from him. So they obviously think it's worse more than 3.
Well, you watch the vision, and I get it's hard for a key forward coming out full speed. He was sprinting at the ball. The other guy, Cunningham, just beat him to it. And because of the way, as a human, you brace for impact when you're about to hit someone, correct? That's just natural. But he's jumped, he's braced for impact, and he's turned.
But that's what they're saying now. Just run straight through him. They're asking you to run straight through him instead of... Because I know it's bad and you can hurt yourself, but a bit of muscle from there is a lot harder than running front on. If you and me run front on together, it's going to hurt you a lot less than if I put a shoulder and get you through.
Yes. Yeah.
So if he runs straight at that ball and doesn't brace, it's fine. Play on. He'll play next week.
Isn't he risking the fact that he cracks ribs or something, though?
Well, he is. But that's the risk you take. The AFL told you if you bump, and that was a bump, if you bump, you will see weeks. That's what the AFL. If he runs straight through, doesn't brace for impact, I know he's risked to hurting himself, but then he plays next week if he doesn't hurt himself. That's what you got to sum up in those 2 actions.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, and I definitely think he will get weeks, but don't Sydney look good?
Sydney look very good.
Sydney and GWS both at the moment. And again, I know it's early and I keep saying this, but they look like the 2 teams to beat right now.
Wasn't someone getting laughed out of this show saying they're all Sydney derby for the granny? Too sure I was getting laughed off the show when I said this.
I still think Carlton's got some words to say about that. So
Carlton will be there too.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm still not confident, but I want to be.
But see, the 2 powerhouses we had in there that were going to be in there, Geelong and Brisbane, are probably leading the way for if Collingwood lose next week.
Collingwood, Brisbane, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, who did I say? Sydney?
Geelong.
No, you're Geelong.
Oh, Geelong. Yeah, no, Collingwood, Brisbane. But Collingwood, Brisbane, they'll play next week. And whoever loses that game, I think you rub them off finals boards.
Yeah, well, I think Collingwood's got some tough roads ahead of it if they don't beat Brisbane next week.
Yeah.
I know they've got to go to... I'm going to say Magic Round, but that's the NRL. Go
Gather round.
Gather round.
Gather round.
They've got to play Hawthorn, and then I think they go on the bye, and then after the bye they've got to play Port Adelaide, which I think most teams after the bye don't do well. And then they've got to back up 5 days later for Anzac Day and play Essendon, which Essendon don't look that bad this year.
No, they're looking alright this year.
They could be 0-6 or 1-6.
0-6 is going to be very, very bad.
Aren't Collingwood haters going to love that?
They are. But they've been coming, but it's been expected.
But you got
No, that's it.
Yeah,
You won the flag last
That's
year.
it. That's all I say to everyone. They're like, but they're doing poor this. I said, man, I'd take 4 spoons in a row if I could watch them win a flag the next year after that.
Absolutely.
I would happily have 4 spoons in a row to win a flag rather than six or 7th, 12 years in a row and do nothing.
I'd happily have 4 spoons in a row and get the deal that North Melbourne got as well.
No, that's it. Yeah. We still haven't got the flag though. If we get 3 flags, it's worth it.
But back on Essendon for a moment. They look good. I think Brad Scott's good for them.
Yes,
Gresham
he
played
does.
well. Mackay played well again. He's looking pretty solid down in defence, and especially now that he's got some mature bodies around him helping him out.
Time will tell though, because they've been beaten up on, I don't want to say lesser teams, but lesser teams.
Flat track bullies.
Yeah, so they've come up against their first real challenge and so we'll see in the next couple. I think they've got a pretty tough run coming. So
They only
St
lost
Kilda
by
next
20
week. Yeah, but St Kilda next week will be a tough one.
Yep.
And then the week after, Port Adelaide over there.
Yeah, so the next week's really going to give us
games what they're doing. Like they've beat up on Hawthorn, but Hawthorn's come out this week and done nothing.
Yep.
And then Sydney's got them pretty comfortably in the end. And then the next 2 weeks, I think, will let us know whether Essendon's the real deal or not.
Yep. No, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Nick Cox looks good for Essendon.
Yes,
Back here.
yes, looks very good on the wing there.
Yep. Absolutely. And Heaney in the middle has to stay.
Yes.
Sydney.
Me and my brother were talking about this. Now, you have Adams coming into that midfield. You have Mills coming into that midfield.
I don't think
Parker
Adam
coming.
Yeah.
Taylor Adams,
Yep.
Parker, and Mills. So
Parker
they've got
and
to
Mills,
make room for 3 people in that midfield.
Adams won't.
And
But
Heaney, I don't think you can take out.
Nah, the way he's been playing and the way he's been dominating there is like, why would you take him out?
He's probably nearly leading the Brownlow, I'd say.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty
I would
confident
agree
to
with
say
that.
he's probably nearly in front in the Brownlow.
Yep. I would 100% back you on that decision.
Yeah.
So, interesting
Do you
chat
think
coming up.
Errol Goulden would be sort of taking points off him?
Maybe last night.
Yeah.
First 2 weeks, he's got 6 votes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
heard
next
it.
game.
All right, then we're going to Bulldogs Gold Coast. Now, this was a cracking game. No, I think it was nearly over early. Pretty sure in the first quarter they
Bulldogs
set up
kicked
an
9 goals.
8-goal lead or something.
From what I heard, Raul had a pretty quiet game. I'm not sure how true this is. But this is what I heard.
So if you watch it, I watched that game, and the Raul Liberatore matchup was probably the best part of this game. Now, they've had 22 touches each and had 9 tackles each, and that's all the commentators were talking about. Every time there was a clearance, it was one of those two, and the other one was right there tackling. It was the best matchup of football between 2 players I think I've seen in a long time.
Well, Bulldogs got out to a 9-goal head start in the first quarter. They kicked 9 goals. And then over second quarter and third quarter, Gold Coast were actually chipping it back. I think they got back within 21 points. And then Bulldogs in the last 10 minutes of the last quarter just went bang.
Yeah, it just took off.
Absolutely smashed it. One to watch out for, which I said preseason, was Sam Darcy. I think he kicked 2 to 4 goals. I can't recall. He's definitely one to watch for the Rising Star.
You were saying that, live. I remember you telling me Darcy could be a thing.
You keep talking about Rising Star, but I've been watching McKercher the last couple of weeks, and he's doing very well.
McKercher's been good,
Really good.
McKercher's been very good.
That is very, very
He still hasn't been nominated, though.
Oh, hasn't he?
It's only early.
I think round 1 went to... Can I remember who round 1 went to? Geelong? Dempsey?
Yep, that's
Pretty
correct.
sure the Rising Star was Dempsey in round 1.
Who was round 0?
I don't think they did one round 0.
No, I think they did. It was Windsor from Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They,
From Melbourne.
they would have had to, because it'll be unfair for those 6 teams, because they get one
Yeah,
less.
because then they're missing one, I suppose.
Yeah, every time
Yeah,
they have
exactly.
a bye. Yep.
Turtles just got here in chat. Waitman, 4 goals in the first quarter from contested marks. Huge. And he ended up with 6 goals as well.
Ooh.
That's massive for Cody Waitman. Massive. But yeah, good win for the Bulldogs. They looked like they were the quick hands that they were. They were tackling hard. They were ferocious. It was good to see Caleb Daniel back in there. Gold Coast, Jed Walter's first game, didn't really do a lot. He'll take a while
He
being people.
showed a bit of presence though. Like
He
if you
did.
watched the game, he was in the game just to step up. But I think that was Gold Coast ball movement. So he never really got. He was in packs. He was in marks. He chased hard. He's quick. He's a quick kid.
He
Watched through that
reminds me
video.
of Charlie Curnow, the way he looks
Quick
and
kid.
runs and everything.
I thought he's a bit taller.
He looks
he's
taller.
a bit shorter than King. So,
Yeah. But you're right.
He showed signs. He did show signs, and their ball movement probably wasn't the best, so didn't get a lot of options.
Not at all. How many intercept marks did Bulldogs
It
players
was like
make?
29, I think. I think they broke the record.
That was ridiculous. Like Liam Jones every time, or English coming across. That was just swallowing it up every time.
It was like 29, or I think it was 29 early in the last quarter.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. All right, game that just finished not long ago. Richmond Port Adelaide.
It was a cracking game till 3/4 time. I think Richmond were in front at halftime.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of it because I was doing yard work again. Yay!
Yay, why not?
I did sort of catch a glimpse of the end though, and it looked okay. Richmond actually put up a bit of a fight, more than I thought they would.
They looked very good, Richmond. For the parts of it I watched a lot of it. But then I think I missed the third quarter and come back and Port was 30 points in front. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I missed the all-important third quarter there.
Yeah, not too sure myself.
That Sydney guy won it for round 0, Michael, thank you.
Yeah, that's the Windsor.
Is that Roberts?
No, Wins is Melbourne, so it'd be
yeah,
Roberts, yeah.
Must have been Roberts. Yeah. Thank you, Pingaling.
Things always support Richmond supporters stayed home only 30
Oh, it's
days.
Ping. There we go.
We're going to touch on that a bit later.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, we've got that coming up, the crowds and how disappointed we are with something like that. But
Anyway, let's keep, before you give too much away, let's keep moving through. I don't have a lot to say about Richard. Todd Marshall looked like he kicked a few.
I think he got injured as well.
For Port, did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got injured.
He was playing last quarter?
Was he? Or
Yeah.
might have been a scare.
Hopefully just a scare, because he's one that could really break out this year. I know he's been in the system a while, but he's kind of just been teasing whenever he's played. But yeah, I don't really have a lot. Richmond are actually playing a lot better than I thought they would.
I thought they were going to spoon this year, which they still might, but yeah, look, he kicked 4 goals. Marshall.
4 goals, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finished
thought
off.
it was a few. Beautiful. And then West Coast and Eagles.
Well, that game's still going, isn't it?
Yeah, currently
It is,
6 GWS Giants are 6-7-43, West Coast 2-4-16.
Giants are starting to kick away now.
I'm not sure how long's left in the
They must have just kicked another goal because I've got a different score. 6. Oh no, you said 6-7, didn't you?
yeah.
6-7-43. That's what I've got. Yep.
43-16. Yep.
I'm not sure if you're interested in the Melbourne Storm versus Newcastle game. It's there's only 2 points in it with 3 minutes to go, and I don't think Melbourne Storm are out of it compared to watching them last week.
Oh,
With that try, but that's about all of the NRL we'll talk about now.
Just get a cheap quick
Cheeky
NRL
there.
punt in there, and we'll move on, eh?
that's
Yeah.
great. All right, Moisty, let's do it.
We're up.
All right,
Moisty's minute.
before we kick off, remember I'm gonna switch the scenes here, and you got a minute 30 to get your minute done.
All right, so get
Minute
ready.
30. All right.
Let him know when to go.
When we start.
3, 2, 1. There'll be a little 5-second intro, and then you can kick it off.
All right, sweet. All right, Moisty's minute. We are live. All right, so we're just going with a few rule changes for this one, boys. So we've got holding the ball. Is it gone from the game?
Well, watching the St Kilda and Collingwood game, possibly.
Possibly.
I think holding the ball's gone, dropping the ball or incorrect disposal, no.
Yeah. All right. Then we've got umpire dissent. Where's that gone? Is that still in the game?
I think players are more controlled in how they react.
Oh,
I must have missed some of this. You'll have to speak about it a bit after it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No, I've seen a heap of dissent, but yeah, it's just new ruck rule. Is that working?
No,
I don't
You
know
don't
what
like
it
it?
is.
no, there's still too many free kicks
So
being
you
given.
can shepherd in the ruck now.
Oh yeah.
There's still free kicks being given. I don't know what for.
Yeah. All right. So, are you liking the all attack, no defense shootout football we're getting?
Yes.
Yes. It's
Yes,
very exciting to
high
watch.
scores. High scores good.
Yep.
Because how do bounce exist anymore? I've seen a few of them this weekend.
Wow.
Well, I think Jeremy Cameron did it last year. He showed us that it's not out of the question at all. If it's on this side of the fence, it's all right.
We've had 3 this round. We've had Higgins. Who's the other guy that did it? I can't remember. It was, and then
He's you're hogging up a minute here, says he?
Oh, sorry, keep going. Yep, my bad.
Are rucks more important than ever?
That's a really good one.
If you watch the Gold Coast game today, you know what I was talking about.
I say it is.
I think so. They're still very important.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say as important as ever, but still important.
Are you happy with the amount of marks being disallowed by touch in marking contests?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, so what was that? Moisty's minute anyway. I think Fazzy just sucked up the minute and a half in the middle there, but I hope we got close.
We got close. So what? The descent. Did give us a few little mentions about
So
that.
I was saying, like, it used to be if you move, arms up, raise eyebrows, say anything. But I was watching a couple of games today and Friday. They're mouthing off at umpires again. Getting angry. Watch football next week, and you watch. They're just getting away with everything again. So I don't know why we had that year with dissenting if we're just going to go back to the way it was.
They do that.
Yeah,
They absolutely.
Every year they focus on new things, and yeah.
Yeah, but why have a full? You can't do this, and then the next year, we'll release it. You're all right. Good to go.
It's ridiculous. Hey, before we move on to Eggy's deep dive, what do you boys think of the streaker incident?
Oh, wog.
Definitely holding the ball.
Yeah, Jeremy Cameron, that was hilarious.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like why? That's the only thing I can say is why.
Yeah, I don't know what the AFL's dished out, but apparently in Adelaide they can't give a fine or anything, and they I think that he's only got 3 years.
Yeah, it's only a 3-year brand, is what I heard.
Yeah, from there. So hopefully the AFL can put on a bit more sting.
I think so.
If you do it in Melbourne, it's life. You do it at the MCG or Marvel, it's a life ban from those stadiums.
I think it's crap. I really do think it's crap. I don't understand why people do it anymore. I think it's.
Well, I haven't seen the Super Bowl one where that guy put a $50,000 bet on it and won a substantial amount of money. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but I don't think so by what I saw.
Well, that's when gambling companies need to not do that.
No, yeah, but it's also normally that don't get on TV. So he's run right into the play, so he's always going to get on TV.
It's also dangerous, though.
Yeah, it's dangerous for the players. These are highly paid effort. You run over and someone trips over you not knowing you're there, breaks an ankle.
Yep.
It's nearly career-ending sometimes.
It could be, absolutely. But it's also dangerous for the streaker. What if they run into... Like, AFL players are built very...
It's like Keys took him down pretty easy. Like,
yeah.
Well,
he had him with one hand.
Crouch grabbed him with one hand and just wouldn't let go. And then he thought the security guard had him and he took off again.
Yeah, and then Keys, dumped him pretty easy. And you think, well, if Keys wrapped him up and dumped him, could have hurt him pretty bad.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't like it. I reckon it's gotten over him in the game.
No, agreed. I just thought I'd get your thoughts on that, boys.
Beautiful. All right, now we've got my favourite segment of the week.
Yes.
Into Eggy's deep dive. Let's go, people.
Deep dive.
Oh, Big Sil brought this to my attention. But why the fuck were the Melbourne games on during the F1 times? Like on Saturday at 1:45 p.m. we had North versus Fremantle at Marvel, where we saw 17,589 people. Saturday 4:35 p.m. Hawks v Demons at the MCG, where we saw only 43,096. Or 960, should I say. Sunday, 4 p.m, Richmond versus Port Adelaide at the MCG was only 30,000. I'll mention the Dogs and Suns on Sunday at 1 p.m. in Ballarat, but the game was never going to be a primetime game considering the stadium's seating capacity. What do you boys think about this?
I think they should just get rid of the F1.
Oh, I don't think they can do that. There's too
can't
much
do
money in F1.
Nah,
but they should have scheduled it so they had all the games interstate.
Yeah, I think
Melbourne round next week.
Adelaide Geelong could have gone.
Adelaide Richmond.
Adelaide Richmond could have been Saturday afternoon, and they could have had maybe not North and Freo, but maybe Hawks and Demons on the Saturday night, being two Melbourne or the Friday night, two Melbourne clubs.
And then you get the F1 supporters like, oh, we'll go check out the football.
Yeah.
So you get 100,000 people at stadium Saturday night after the F1.
Absolutely, because you get people from all over the world come to watch the F1, and a lot of them have heard about Aussie rules and never gone to a game.
Yeah.
And that probably could have got North Fremantle like 17,000. They might have got 40,000 to that game.
Yeah.
If they had that after the F1, they get a lot of flow-ins.
Yeah, definitely. They could have 100% looked at the times a bit better. I agree with you, Eggy, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that was a great deep dive.
No, it's beautiful, that one. I like that one. I enjoyed that one. I didn't even think about it until I read that on the show sheet today. I was like, oh,
bit of a sneak peek next week. I did see there was a New Zealand-born Richmond player had his first game today, so I might dive down those sort of areas, being from that heritage. So
yeah,
keep a look out for that.
I don't know how he went.
I don't know how he went either, so that's why, because the game was still semi-going when we were setting up, so missed the end of it and missed most of the game too.
No, that was that's
good.
good.
That one, like that one.
I think that's fantastic, Eggy. Great work.
All right, now we are going to Taz's viewers' questions.
Viewers' questions. All right. So, viewers' questions we have here. We'll start with Turtle. He actually, Turtle. I don't know if he's in chat or not.
Yes, he's in chat. Yep.
He's in chat. Beautiful. So, we've got here, Turtle. Should Melbourne have Brayshaw's contract removed from the salary cap? Why? Why not?
I don't think so, because they would have known about this all off season. It's a risk you take signing players, and that's why players hope to get bigger contracts. So, say this week, say McKay next week goes down with an knee injury and he doesn't play for the next season. Should Carlton get an extra 1.2 or?
Yeah.
I think that's the risk they took on the player. I don't think they get benefit because it's worked out poorly.
I think, but for me, I think it should be allowed because it's more. He's not out for the season. He's out of the game like
forever.
Retirement. Yeah. See, like they have to bring someone in for him. Like I know like you got in normal seasons and that they could just bring in like rookies and that, but like they physically have to fill that position from the next 5 years.
For the next, gotcha.
I-
How long is his contract left?
I couldn't tell you. Yeah,
4 years, maybe 3 years, something like that. I think that when they bring someone on board, what they pay them should be the difference. So basically, his contract is say $1 million. If they bring a player on for $500,000, then only $500,000 should be kept in the cap.
So they get the free 500.
Yes. So basically,
so they can replace him.
Whatever they pay this new player, they also take off Brayshaw's cap space. So it's still actually the same amount of money in the cap, but they have got a player involved.
Yeah, so what you're saying is, say I bring a player in, I act like I'm paying him $1 million in the cap space, but only pay him what we're paying him. So that they take up that $1 million space.
Exactly. Yeah. So they've got that $1 million to sort of play with, but it's $1 million no matter what.
But it's only on that player. You can't get two players for $1 million, only the one.
No, that's right. And that's just to counteract what Brayshaw's getting paid.
Yeah, so how's the AFL fix this? Because three of us have got three different opinions.
I know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I think that's a great question by Turtle. I really do.
I reckon we should bring it into chat. What do you boys think? Because also, to catch up on chat, Turtles have gather around when F1 is on. That's not a bad idea.
That's a pretty good idea.
And it'll be good for people that are going to gather around. They could Airbnb their house so they could make a bit of income to pay for going to gather around.
But gather rounds in SA.
Yeah, that's what
that's what he's saying. So yeah,
get them
just
out of
use
Melbourne.
instead of because the North game suffered because they were at the F1 and the other game suffered because they were at F1 instead of being able to go. So just clean Melbourne out during the F1.
That's true. Yeah, that could work actually. I like that too.
And Carlton Flags has put great deep dive.
I like it. All right.
On to our next question.
I agree with you there, Carlton Flaggers. Eggy, that's probably one of my favourite ones that you've done.
No, it was a very good one, that one.
Carlton Flaggers, speak of the devil. His question from his Instagram, Carlton_Flaggers 2024 asks, Was it a convincing win for Carlton Friday night week ago?
I'm going to have to get this up. So that's 2 weeks ago. So the game was
I can't remember who
Richmond
That was
versus
round
Carlton
one.
by
Richmond
5
versus Carlton.
points.
Yeah. I think it was because they're doing what Collingwood was doing. And we were actually talking about this earlier tonight. The Collingwood Football Club used to always win games by small margins. Carlton used to lose games by small margins. Now we're starting to actually win these games. I think we've had 6 in a row now, and we're showing that maturity that we actually know how to hold on to a lead or hit the front.
And I think Richmond goes to show today, like they were in it against Port Adelaide until like the halfway through the last quarter too. So they were able to stick it to a previous year's top 4 or top 8 team.
Yeah, which shows that they're nowhere near as bad as what we thought they were going to be so far.
Yeah.
Great
I
question.
agree with that,
Plague.
boys. Yep. Great question.
What do you think, Moisty?
No, I reckon the same. Yeah, I reckon they're they used to say you've only got to win games. Doesn't matter if you win by a mile or an inch. Winning's winning.
Yep.
If you win, like Collingwood showed last year, you've just got to win.
Yeah,
You don't have to win by big margins as long as you win. You win every game of the year, you're still going to win the flag. Like, doesn't matter if you win them by 100 points or 3 points.
Very true. Very true. I'm just going to read out Turtle's answer to his own question. AFL give money to clubs for a salary cap, and if the club can't use it, the AFL is getting free money, basically. But they would be using it because they'd still be paying Brayshaw.
But I
Yeah,
think,
they've still got to pay that contract.
well, I wouldn't be surprised if that's under an insurance too. Like it could get paid out through insurance because it's something not like like you know how
Clubs have
most
insurance?
well I think most players do. Like if they get injured, they have insurance.
I think a
Income
lot of them do
protection.
these days.
Yep.
Yep. You'd have
Yeah,
to.
so they might rip that contract up and then the insurance covers that contract. I'll have to have a deep. I might have a look into that during the week.
Yeah, and see, because that's it would be interesting.
We might go over that question again next week once I have a bit of a read into it.
Beautiful. All right, next question. Artie, is Carlton the real deal, or are they just pretenders considering who they have played? I think we kind of just answered that a little bit as
Yeah,
well.
I know.
Didn't we? But they've played Brisbane round 1, so
Yeah.
you can't do much better than last year's premiership
But then
Grand
Brisbane
finals.
lost to Freo.
finalists. Yeah,
And then Richmond has shown that they aren't as bad as they were last year. So
and Freo has shown too. Freo of last year would have given up to North at half time. They
Yeah.
fought back 9 goals in a row. So
Yeah.
I think this year's very close. Anyone can lose to anyone this year.
Yeah, I think it's
Apart
going to
from
be
maybe
very...
a couple of teams that you sort
It
of.
was kind of like that last season. It was really good.
Yep.
Really good. All right, talking everything AFL through Instagram. Can Essendon go deep in 2024? Who wants to start?
As I said, I reckon the next 2 games.
Yeah.
That'll tell us if they go 0-2 in the next 2 games. Write them off. They're done.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think it's too early to tell for them right now. What I've seen has been very promising, but not enough to know exactly how it's going to go. Carlton Flaggers here has just got agreed, Taz. It's a new brand of football that we may be getting used to. Love it. So I'm going to say second last question of viewers' questions is Coach_Stephen51. Which player's performance have you been impressed with so far?
Well, off the top of the head, Heaney. As I said before,
Yeah.
he's winning the Brownlow.
Yep.
Heaney's probably, if he gets taken out of that midfield, I think a lot of Sydney supporters will be very, very upset.
Yep, definitely. I've got a couple here. I've got Heaney, because I was not going to be able to think on my feet for this one, so I pre-answered.
Oh, he's pre-gun him.
Heaney, Harry Mackay, Jesse Hogan, and Tom Green.
yeah,
I'll probably put Matt Rao in there too. Matt Rao's been very
yeah, he
impressive.
did pretty
early.
good.
Yeah.
And I'll put Brady Grundy in there. I thought watching the trial matches, I thought he was going to flop this year, but then when he came out and played his 2 old teams, I thought he did very well, especially against
Yeah,
next
very
score.
good.
Yeah, agreed with that. And I think McKercher.
Yes, McKercher.
McKercher, yes, he's been rising up very well.
And I
Very
think
happy
that
with
little
McKercher.
Collingwood guy, I can't remember what his name now is. Reece McGuinness, I reckon he did pretty well on Thursday
That was
night.
his first game on the weekend.
Yeah, it
wasn't
was his first game. Kicked a couple of goals, and I thought he showed up to the occasion and showed like he had a bit of fight in him. So it was good to see.
Definitely. And there's Fremantle, Clark in their back half, running off back half.
The obvious Fremantle one's probably Sarong.
Oh, absolutely.
He's probably nearly tied leading the Brownlow with
Yeah.
Heaney. He's been very impressive.
He's just getting his hands dirty. He's taking the pressure off Brayshaw. He's
had, two games and he's on 80 touches?
Yeah, something like that. Close
80 touches in 2 games?
Because
yeah, 45, then 35.
That's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
So he can't do much more.
Let's catch up on chat too. Oh, yeah, you say it?
No, you go.
Ping said, do we think the captain's call challenge would ruin the game? Did we touch on this?
Oh, I don't think we have, but I think it would. Captain's challenge.
Do you know much about it? Is it much like the NRL? Like, say they make a call, they can challenge it, and they get one challenge for the game? Unless it's...
I don't think there's been much mentioned about it yet.
Oh, okay.
I think they should, because they wait either 30 seconds or a minute between goals anyway.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not going to have an unlimited amount of challenges. They might have one per quarter or something like that.
In the NRL, they get one per game, but if it's shown as they're correct, they get to keep their one.
Oh, so that's similar to the cricket.
But what's the challenge too? Because every
challenge.
goal decision is reviewed anyway on the way back to the middle.
But they haven't been calling it back for the ones that, like Jack Higgins, that should have been called a boundary throwing.
Yeah. But then that's... Oh, you mean, we want to review that decision. But then how do you go? Can I review... You've kicked it and it's bounced before going out of bounds, but I think it's out in the full. Can I review that decision?
No, it's just...
How far do we go then? And how far do you stop?
So I think that's it. We'll put it on the back burner, and we'll see what comes out through the media about where they're
what they're going to do with it. Yeah.
The ball chip technology should help, and that's being used in the VFL this year.
Oh, I think it's coming into next year, I've heard.
Into AFL? Yeah, they're trialling it this year to get a good understanding of how it works, then it'll come across to AFL next year if all things look good.
So Artie's put, are Carlton pretenders or contenders? I reckon they're contenders.
I think contenders.
I think contenders, definitely.
And Turtles put, Hogan, I'm sure, played on 2 first gamers, so it would be expected he gets bags. How do you go this?
He's still playing at the moment. I was just about to look at how many he's got, but I think he had a few early. But you can only play on who they give you, can't you?
Yeah. But
so Hogan's kicked 1 from 7 disposals, but he's had 4 marks and he's 151 metres gained. So that's not bad considering they're only at halftime.
Yeah, so I think that putting two first gamers on in pre-seasons down there, it's maybe how good he is. That's probably on the other team's fault.
Yeah, definitely.
And Carlton Flaggers 2024 is backing us with his contenders for sure. Lol.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. They can't not be.
No, they're up there. They're in me top 4 now.
Finally good to say. Good to say. Then we've got one more question, guys, and this is actually from yours truly.
Oh, Tassie's here this one.
Because it was brought up in chat earlier today in one of our group chats, and I thought we'd discuss it on the show. So, will McRae leave the Dogs? If so, where to? If not, why not?
Well, I think he played a pretty good game today, didn't he?
In the VFL, but he's not.
The VFL,
that's why we're getting at. I think this question is because he's not getting midfield time at the Bulldogs. He's had 47 touches and 19 clearances in the VFL. Now, when he comes back to AFL, he's been told he's not going to play midfield. He's going to play down forward. Why would he stay at a club that's going to do that to him when his career... He could jump one of these lower clubs, or even in a premiership contender. He could be one of their elite midfielders.
Absolutely. All right, so say he leaves, right? I think he leaves. That's my decision.
I think he leaves too. I don't think he could stay. If it's up to him, I'd be walking out the door.
Well, if I'm another club looking for a midfielder and seeing his numbers, I'll be knocking on the door.
Oh, McRae, 110% it goes. Probably North Melbourne probably not interested. They can't fill.
Yeah,
and they're not in that window that he'd be after.
Yep.
Sydney's probably got too many elite midfielders.
Let's work through the list. So, because we've got time. So we'll start with Adelaide. I don't think Adelaide need him.
No.
They've already got Crouch, who was struggling to get
they
into the
probably don't
side.
need him. And it depends on whether he wants to leave Melbourne too. That's another decision you've got to take into.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Adelaide, no. Brisbane, I don't think so. They've got.
I don't think Brisbane, midfield's too good.
Carlton, no, we've got enough midfielders, in my opinion. I actually floated Collingwood in the chat today.
That's not
because Mitchell's barely getting a game, and when he does, he looks really sloppy at the moment.
Yeah.
You've got DeGoey, who's kind of still trying to hit his straps, but we know what he can do.
But yeah, he's sort of centre half forward, sort of mid, like he's
like a Dusty role.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought Collingwood potentially.
Oh, I don't think they'd touch him.
You don't think so?
He's going there.
I thought potentially, but when you get to the two,
they're going to go pretty hard. They're going pretty hard at Smith, I think,
and Ugle-Hagan.
Yeah, Ugle-Hagan signed.
Did he?
2-year extension.
Oh, I missed it. Essendon. I don't.
I think they can.
Do you?
When you look at that midfield, that's
Merritt, Setterfield, Durham, Parrish. That's pretty set now.
Yeah, but that's 4. You can slide a fifth in there and finish the rotation.
Hobbs is their fifth,
Yeah,
but he's struggling to get a game.
You get McRae in there. I reckon Essendon's a real good shot. I reckon they pursue.
Essendon, yep.
I reckon Essendon could go.
You guys in 2 chat, who do you feel?
Well, Pink just put Geelong need a midfielder.
I was going to say yes to Geelong.
Yeah, I was going to say yes to Geelong once we got to
first thought that came to my mind was Hawks. Or do you think there's no room in there?
Oh, I think they're pretty set with their young kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Whether North Melbourne, Hawthorn and West Coast want a leader, they could take a leader.
I don't think Hawks
train those young kids, but yeah.
They got rid of Mitchell.
Yeah.
Just don't think they will. Giants don't need him. Suns don't need him. Geelong could do with him. So my thoughts are Collingwood, Geelong, and who was
I'd probably throw Essendon in
Richmond. Oh, and Eagles. So they were the 4 teams I thought.
I don't know about Eagles because they're in the same position as North. I don't know if he'd go over there. If it's out of them and Bulldogs, he might want to prefer to say Bulldogs forward line.
True. Very true.
But yeah, I think if he leaves, it's to a contender or someone fringe in the 8 ready to become a contender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he can get the ball. We know he can get the ball. He's a pig, as they call them in Supercoach.
Yep. Just loves the ball. Yep. He's had 47 and 19 clearances in the VFL, and Bulldogs are like, no, you can't have a game.
Is way too good for VFL.
Yeah.
Way too good. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for your questions. Please send them through to our Instagram, TikTok, whatever socials that you're following us on, hopefully all. And while I'm talking about our socials, if you could like our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Sorry, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube. It would really do us the world of good.
Really help us out, yeah.
We would love it and appreciate it a lot. And we would, in the next few weeks, potentially be having either a bit of a giveaway and a release of something.
Beautiful.
All
right, we're up to the tipping, boys.
Tipping.
Yes.
Yeah, just a friendly reminder, this app we're using sometimes doesn't like it when you hit the button. So make sure you double check everything Thursday morning because my tips didn't go in. And Tassie's just hit the front now and he should be in the front. But just make sure you double check your tips before game Thursday nights. I've missed out. I tipped St Kilda, obviously, and lose a point there.
I had to message my brother on once St Kilda had started and was like, mate, your tips. And his reply was, oh, shit.
Yeah. It's very, very easy to do.
I just put in chat, put a hat on the bald eagle, lol. I think you might be referring to you, Taz.
You piss off,
So yeah, talking about tipping, perfect round tipping, we're up to $15 this week. So it hasn't gone off for the last 2 weeks, so it's jackpotted again. So like this week, no one's going to get it because everyone's had at least one loss this week.
Yep.
But I think everyone's gone GWS.
I think we're going to have 8s, yeah. I think it's going to be 8s across the board.
Yep, must be 9. Oh, wait, no. Can't be 8s across the board this week.
Oh, no, what do we got? 7s. Oh, we've got a 7. We've got a 7 for G-Raw at the top there, and then everyone's sort of on 6.
So if G-Raw's on 7, that means she hasn't got one wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Collingwood.
We've got 8 games this week, mate. instead of
1,
9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yep, good call. Yep, my bad.
8 games instead of 9 this week.
English good.
But yeah,
English
as
good.
you can see, Jewel's up at the top there with 17. We've got Mahogany 8 and 16 with the Perthian Food. Dunning's also up there with 16.
Brian.
Podgy 50 on 15. Go Cats on 15. Also got Tassie, Kelzo, and Mr. Chomp on 15, and the Urk. And yeah, I think that's about all we can mention for now.
Jeez, that's huge.
So, Dunny, if you're listening, mate, if you weren't a one-eyed Essendon supporter, you'd had $15 coming your way.
Yeah. Oh, no, he'd only have 10. He'd only have 10.
10. Oh, next week's 15. But you
Next
have
week.
some money coming your way, mate. But
Yeah.
Tell you what, that's bloody close. So from 5th down to 12th are all on 15.
Yeah. Well,
And then you've got-
technically, we only had 2.5 rounds.
That's
This
yeah,
is
good
true.
point.
And Moisty, we should have 13 there because I've been robbed a point. It's just not-
Oh gosh, but no, that's awesome, and we've got a fair few in the tipping.
No, it's
We do.
heaps. It's
We
big
got very-
tipping comp this year.
It's
It is
fantastic.
very
I hope they remember that to claim their perfect round and everything, they must tune into the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
must be here live. So I don't
And
know
I
why
hope-
we
and I
paid
hope-
G because she wasn't here live.
And I hope you signed up through the special, like the actual links, and then that way we know how to contact you as well.
Yes, yeah, that would be awkward.
Yeah.
That would be very awkward. But awesome.
But before we go, I had a bit of clickbait on the thing, and I had the Daicos brothers coming in to talk about their dad going on the what was it, the Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. So here they
yeah.
are live on the show, the Daicos brothers.
Oh, the Daicos boys.
We got them live on the show. So as you're all been waiting for the whole show, we've got them live right now on the show. So
We've got the bobbleheads live.
I've got no words. That is terrible.
That's great, Eggy. I like
Thanks,
that, mate.
hopefully they'll get us some views.
Hope we got
views on
4 or 5
YouTube.
Collingwood supporters coming. We're waiting for that.
Yeah.
I was waiting
your
for
bobblehead.
like a YouTube video or just a video of something to pop up at least.
No, I've got one in the backlog that I'll bring out probably in September.
Oh, that's great. I love that, Eggy. Great work.
Ah, that was good. That was very good, that one.
Great work. Who wants to sign us off this week?
Oh, I can do it. So, if you have not yet, make sure you check out the Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Give us likes, subscribe, watch every video on those. That really helps out. We've got Instagram there as well. Did I say Instagram? I think I did. But all right, back to you, Tozy. That's the sign off, isn't it?
And
You got your one-liner, mate.
that's the socials. Just before we go, Carlton Flaggers. Thanks, guys. I've got to go. But before he's left, he's also written, I was wondering about the title, Ha Ha. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We would really, really love it if you could share, spread the word about TNT Footy. We love doing this show. We love interacting with everyone, and we appreciate you guys jumping in. So let's hope next week is an explosive round of footy.
Everyone.
There you guys.
Guys.